was in.
Man, look at all these guys, right? A lot of guys working on these at the same time. And we added another piece of machinery. We got a wall going around. So, a lot of moving parts in these, all right? Components are formed on the top of an existing concrete slab at the job site. I learned that yesterday. I thought they would make their own form off in the dirt somewhere, but they're doing it right on top of the slab where it's gonna be erected, all right? All components are constructed on the job site in this scenario. If they weren't constructed on the job site, they're gonna be coming from a different place, like we've been, cast in-house somewhere else and shipped to us.
How tight is the wire that's in there before they pour it?
You gotta have 3,000 PSI concrete. There is, I don't know, I believe it's just rebar inside there.
No, there's wire, there's rebar, and there's whatchamacallit in there as well. No, that's the same thing we're looking at right now. There's a video on it, how it's made. They have like fucking wires,
Cables.
cables going through it.
Okay.
Then you have your chairs and all this shit in there.
Yep.
So how tight do those cables need to be? Or is it just taut?
Whatever, I'm gonna go with that one. It'll be specified in the prints. I don't know if there's a standardized answer. The one standard answer I do know is the concrete PSI for compression needs to be 3,000 PSI. Modern tilt ups were made with reinforced concrete. Started about 1905, all right? Early erection was done using tilt tables, but then it developed with the mobile crane, and the concrete truck mixers allowed tilt up. So they weren't mixing it on site, they were able to get the concrete to them quick. A lot of concrete going in those things, right?
So who builds those then? The masons? We set the rebar and the masons pour them and then.
Yeah, your finishers, you're gonna need a finisher, concrete finisher, and then probably some laborers to spread the mud, right?
That'd be stand up.
Yeah, so it's gonna be another composite crew, a lot of moving parts. They range from a single story, which we're used to, up to 96 feet in height. So that's 8 floors. So that's pretty wild. Like, anybody work at the one in Menor? That was the tallest one that I saw, was at Myers, the place that makes the snowplows.
Yeah.
Okay, it's out there right off of Route 2 before Heisley. That one was pretty fucking tall. That was probably the tallest one that I've seen around here. I'm sure there's taller ones, but that's the one that sticks out to my head. I was like, man, that's a pretty tall building. The racks were even like 60 feet tall inside. It's pretty crazy.
Nasty's got the world's tallest story building.
So more than 7. Pretty high for something that you just pour in the parking lot. You know what I mean? Pretty crazy.
I just stand that bitch up.
Snatch blocks, we'll get into that. The first step is preparing to fabricate the panels and snap chalk lines on the slab. All right, that's going to be your first step. So you want to snap them lines, get everything square, ready to go. These lines indicate the panel perimeter, and then the forms will be placed. All right. So this is just a procedure. Sure, we'll take whatever they give us. They want us to put them forms in. We'll fucking snap them lines, put them forms in, right? How many times do these laborers and carpenters do our work? Sometimes maybe it's time for us to get some of this back, right? So don't ever say, oh, that's not my work.
I never do.
Let's take it. Let's take it. All right.
So I am on my way from class. We have class this week, which is Precast. Now Precast is, let me give you an analogy of Precast for those people who don't know. If you ever broke your arm or broke your foot and you go to the doctor and they put a cast on your foot or arm or whatever, that mold, that hardened part of that is a cast. So in precast, in construction, the cast part will be concrete. So what they do is make the mold, put the rebar in there for strength, etc. Then they pour the concrete in there, and it is called precast, pre-made. You know, building is constructed on the job site. So it is made somewhere else and brought to the job site. Also, we have to read blueprints on precast buildings. I'm getting there. I'm still kind of, but I'll get there. No, reading blueprints is a big part of ironwork. So I'm going to be studying blueprints so I can get more good at that. Because at some point in my ironworker career, I don't want to be, I want to make the transition from being out in the field and doing more laid back work, if that makes sense. But again, it is all necessary and it's part of the trade, so I want to learn as much as possible while I'm in this trade. But we also have to do our knot tests throughout our apprenticeship. Occasionally, we will have to take knot tests, which is where we practice tying different knots that we use in the trades that are essential. Personally, I only know maybe about 5 to 6 knots by heart. So I'm going to need some extra knot time tomorrow before we actually get started on those tests. But I think I'll be alright, you dig? Ain't nothing to it but to do it, you know? Anyway, that's what we're going to be doing tomorrow. Tomorrow is Friday, and I plan on taking me a weekend trip, which is good for mental health. You know, we had a good, well, so far we're having a good week in class. Now class is sometimes a relief from work. You get to be around some of the guys you started your apprenticeship with, and it's always good to catch up because we're not always on the same job together, but we're in the same apprenticeship class. So it's a relaxing environment sometimes. We have fun, we joke around, kid around, and all that good stuff. And it's good to catch up with your homies. So it's always good.